Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we getting on? Welcome to a brand new Fallout 76 video. So, I apologise ever so slightly for the tiny little bit of clickbait in the title there. This is not technically a roadmap, but we're more or less going to deliver on the premise anyway, so I hope you'll forgive me. But today, Bethesda have released a little letter going over everything in 76 to date, including this year's releases, but also looking forward to what they're going to be doing in 2025. So, kind of roadmap adjacent, which is really cool. Some of it we're kind of aware of, some of it is new stuff and a little bit of extra detail and when we can expect sort of things to arrive. So, quite cool stuff here, and yeah, I thought I'd share with you. So, let's take a look. So we have a letter here from John Rush and Bill Lacoste, who are the two leads on Fallout 76. And to be honest, I'm going to go out on a limb a little bit here and say this reads like it was written by John Rush. Having been in the room with the guy a couple of times now, it's definitely got his style on it. So that's quite fun. But yeah, it's a nice little recap here over what we've got today in 76, going over all the different updates and some of the milestones, things like that. So that's a strong start, but most of us will know that already. I will link this down below if you want to read yourself, so you can see that. And it comes up to here, where we start looking forward to what's coming next year. So, while traipsing along them country roads even, we've met over 21 million Vault dwellers who bravely emerged from Vault 76. So, is it 21 million characters or 21 million individuals? I suspect individuals rather than, or accounts, rather than individual characters, because otherwise that number's probably going to be quite a bit higher when you think about 5 or 6 or whatever number of characters it is people could have, plus, deleting and restarting. But yeah, that's kind of fun. 21 million's a pretty darn good number, I think. So, let's have a look at this then. Walk with us, dear reader, along this undiscovered road and cast your gaze towards the horizon for a glimpse of what's coming to Fallout 76 over the next year. For the first time in any Fallout game, players can turn their character into a ghoul. Okay, so we knew that one. That one's coming next year. Definitely curious to get my hands on that one. Players who become ghouls will have chosen a life path full of challenges, but one equally ripe with potential. While ghouls suffer no ill effects from radiation exposure, be careful not to turn feral. Smooth skin's overrated anyhow, don't you think? Yeah, looking forward to diving into that one. It's something players have been crying out for and wanting to see for, well, basically as long as Fallout's been around, so yeah, definitely a fun element that. Looking forward to checking it out in early 2025. This is a really nice piece of artwork. It's pretty. It's a little more soft focus than a lot of the stuff they've gone for. The kind of pastel colours and softer edges and so on compared to a lot of the art style previously. But it's quite cool. Then when spring fills the air and the hills of Appalachia are in full bloom, flowers won't be all that's blossoming. Brave florticulturalists? Surely it should be horticulturalists. Get out your weed killer and help a fellow green thumb, or they'll be pushing up daisies. In 2025, we'll be introducing a new spring-themed seasonal event, the Big Bloom. So there we go, a brand new seasonal event arriving in spring, so that should be a fun thing to dive into. Obviously, new challenges and so on to go with that, new content to explore, and new rewards at the end of it as well, I am sure. It should be interesting. Jump in to earn a rich bouquet of new event-themed rewards and grow plenty of new wasteland friendships along the way. Just to see what sort of direction they take the rewards on that, whether they're sort of floral-themed. I imagine a lot of them will be, maybe some cool camp stuff. And what would summer be without grabbing a fishing pole and heading down to your favourite radioactive watering hole? No need to worry about finding out, because fishing is coming to the wasteland this summer and is angling to reel in our esteemed adventurers, collectors and travelling trawlers alike. So there's a few tidbits in here. They announced that they were working on fishing for Fallout 76 back on Fallout Day, so that will be the 23rd of October, which is cool. That was just a little teaser, John Rush waving a toy fishing rod around. But this summer, that's cool. It's a little bit sooner than I think I was expecting, which is nice. This summer will likely be the summer update, so that would probably be early June. Usually these are the first Tuesday in the month, so obviously we have March for the spring one, June for summer, September for autumn, and then December for the winter update. So yeah, looks like that one will probably be early June, which is cool. And what we've got there, we've got collectors and travelling trawlers alike, so that would kind of imply maybe you'll be able to sell your catch in some kind of way. The collectors is an interesting one. Maybe we'll be able to craft mounted fish or something and display different fish that you've caught. Or I'm going to go with fish for now. I don't want to know what else we might be pulling out of those irradiated waters, so we'll see how that pans out. But still, I'm guessing there'll be some display options going on there, so hopefully a bit more to it than just pulling things out of the water. Fishing's a funny one. It doesn't appeal to me in games a great deal more than it does in real life, which is not at all. So, yeah, I don't kind of get the online love for it personally, but still, I'm interested to see what they come up with there. It might be an interesting addition. It all starts at a mysterious location where players encounter a fisherman who's decided to set up camp and share their love for fishing to one and all, or so it seems. Ooh, there's a story to it as well, that's cool. This strange merchant will sell our players everything they need to catch any of the slimy, scaled swimmers found in all bodies of water across Appalachia. Sharpen those hooks, we'll be eating well. So new recipes as well from the look of that, and a little lead-in quest probably of some kind to set that up, I guess. Or possibly some kind of repeatable daily thing, maybe? Might be interesting. So, moving forward, later in the year, Mischief Night is set to make a triumphant return. Is it now? This seasonal event offers players a fun spectacle full of spooks, scares, and mischief. In fact, Mischief Night encourages mischief. Who'd have thunk it? Yeah, so we'll believe it when we see it with this one. Not to be unkind there at all, but they've had a long-running battle since the very first Halloween with Mischief Night. The first year it came out, the thing did not run well. It was at the White Springs. It was a fun event, but it was chaos, and it hasn't come back since because they've not been able to get it working to a satisfactory standard. They thought they were there last Halloween, and this October just gone, or in the run-up to it rather, and we're planning to bring it back down in Skyline Valley. That didn't happen though, as it just wasn't up to the standard they wanted it to be. Ongoing problems still, so after multiple attempts to bring it back and many years of struggles to get this event up and running again, good luck to them. I'd love to see it come back next Halloween. I hope they get it there. I'm not terribly surprised they're working on that. We'll see if they pull it off this time, because it's been a bit of a white whale, I think, this particular event, so we'll see how they do on that. But cool, nonetheless. And what are all the good tricks without some treats? Mischief Night also offers a huge assortment of new rewards for your characters and your camps. Thank you to everyone who helped test this feature on our PTS earlier this year. In addition to the exciting features touched on above, your favourite seasonal events will keep popping up at a steady clip, including Fashion Act, Mothman Equinox. Moshman, that's a bit more of a metal version of it, I guess. More up my alley. And Meat Week. So keep an eye out for more rewards to earn for your characters and camps. So fresh reward pools coming in next year. That's very, very cool to see. Or updated reward pools anyway. I imagine it's just more stuff on top of what's already there. That's the way they usually go. But yeah, new and more expansive rewards certainly welcome. So, moving on. As we introduce even harder challenges, we will continue to present possible alternate playstyles through the introduction of new perk cards for our human and ghouls alike. So, yeah, mix up your playstyle a little bit more, maybe enhance certain things. Hopefully it'll open up more things like pistols and the like to being viable beyond the stage that they currently are, which is not much at all, really. Yeah, that's promising if they're going to lean into new perks, things like that. Hopefully they've got some fun ideas for that. I am curious to explore that further. I do hope they avoid what is going on at the moment, although I don't imagine they will, and that is the, to me at least, very frustrating constant power creep that's going on in the game. You look at things like the addition of 4-star legendaries and stuff like that. You're taking an already easy game and then just dialing up the player power level even more. And I know there's some efforts to kind of offset that, but the power's going up at a much faster rate than the difficulty is, and it has been doing since the game came out, to be fair. But yeah, I would like to see a more balanced challenge coming in. Unfortunately, I think that would require a much larger kind of overhaul than this is implying, so I'm going to guess that it will actually continue that trend, especially as they have talked about on a number of occasions throughout 2024, the sort of, what was the phrase they used? The power fantasy, that was the one that many players have, and that doesn't really bode well for the future, in my view. I would like to actually have, a challenge in my gameplay. But there we go. we'll see what this actually presents next year. Still, plenty of stuff happening, and from the tone of this, more stuff planned even further on down the line than that as well, so no end to the updates in sight, which is always a welcome thing. So we'll continue to make improvements to the core game, improvements that affect overall performance, visuals and gameplay, not to mention a complete revamp of the workshop camp build menu to make it easier for our builders to navigate. Stay tuned for even more exciting news later in 2025. So in that little 2 sentences, there is a quick bit to unpack. So, more improvements to the core game, including performance, visuals, and gameplay. Every patch has bits and pieces of tweaks and stuff to it to try and improve the way the game runs and improve server stability and stuff like that. They've been doing that since the game launched. Long lifespan online games like this always do that. This is not unique to 76. Always good to see more of it. Visuals and gameplay, you may have noticed that nights are darker, and there are some other visual elements that were tweaked for the Gleaming Depths update a couple of weeks ago. This is something that they do from time to time going on across the game's lifespan, and are planning to continue going forward. So that was very cool. It was something John Rush was talking about a couple of weeks ago when I was at Bethesda's offices. So yeah, ongoing plans to kind of, not exactly remaster the game or anything like that, but just give it little bumps up in its sort of graphical fidelity and things like that. Personally, if you look at the changes to how dark the nighttime is at the minute, I'm actually not that much of a fan. I find it very, very hard to pick things out in the dark sometimes. Maybe it's just my slightly aging eyeballs, I don't know, but still, ongoing tweaks and adjustments are hopefully going to be a net gain over time. The other thing is, complete revamp of the camp build menu. Hallelujah! We've been needing that for a while. Now, I did know this was actually in the pipeline and on its way, but as to exactly when, well, there's no date listed on here, so I'm guessing we're probably looking towards the latter end of next year for that one. Maybe the December update, just because they haven't mentioned a date on there. But yeah, very, very cool to see that coming. Obviously, we definitely want to see that. I wouldn't like to be the poor individual who has to redesign and reorganize that menu. It would be a Herculean task, I should imagine. But yeah, I'm definitely happy to see that. That's going to be very, very cool. So, wait, did you think I would disclose everything in this letter? We must leave some room for surprises too. 2025 is shaping up to be a hell of a year. Okay, so that is just some of what is coming next year. And I have a usual thank you and a sign-off at the end. Yeah, there's some fun additions coming in the next year ahead to 76. Definitely some stuff I'm looking forward to. Some stuff I am going to wait and see on. And yeah, definitely a couple of nice additions. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're not telling us about as well. Because, you know, question marks are curious things. Anyway, beware of the drifter. There's a little hint. They did mention a drifter somewhere else, didn't they? Where was he? Mysterious fisherman? No? Okay, maybe they didn't. Yes, a drifter. New character who might be up to no good, apparently. Some update at some stage in the year. Possibly the autumn update? It tends to be a fairly big target for big content drops. Or it has been recently anyway, so mind you, summer was fairly large and so was the winter, so it could be any of them. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that pans out to be. If they've got something that specific based on what I know about their development cycle, which is not a vast amount, but still, little things I've picked up from what's been said to me, it's probably, I'm going to hazard a guess at the autumn one. Because where that falls in the usual amount of time goes from conception to release of a concept into the game. But that's my hunch. We'll see whether or not I'm right, I guess, won't we? If I even remember I made that prediction. There we go. A kind of sort of maybe roadmap of things that are coming out next year, or at least a little preview of what's coming up. So very, very cool to hear that. Definitely looking forward to some of those changes. Hopefully there'll be some big tentpole kind of content updates that they're not mentioning in there. This drifter seems like it might be potentially tied into such a thing. So we're going to have to see. Obviously, we know the ghoul is coming out in the first part. That's going to be quite a significant update. That should be cool. And we'll have to see what the major content is beyond that, because most of what's mentioned here is parts of a larger whole, I suspect. But yeah, nonetheless, some cool bits and pieces. So, hope you guys found that interesting. If you did like the video, please consider dropping subs and likes. I very much appreciate. Down below, as always, social media links. channel memberships and hit that notification bell and all that good stuff. Make sure you're up to date with everything going on the channel. I'll keep you up to date with 76 as well. And if you get a chance to join us for live streams too, we're of course playing Fallout 76, and we've got Indiana Jones on the go at the minute. Really enjoying that game. And playing Stalker Call of Pripyat as well at the moment, which is good fun. And my god, there is a ton of stuff on the horizon as well. So lots to watch. If you're interested, do have a little look around. For now, thank you very much for watching. I look forward to speaking to you all very, very soon.